All right, all right, all right. Let me close my door real quick. Hold on, guys. All right, all right, all right. We're in the building. We're in the building. We have a bad hair day today, guys, but it is okay. It is okay. I clearly need a haircut, but you know what? I don't really care today. But what's going on, everybody? Listen, man, a lot of you guys, and I mean a lot of you guys, have asked for a call-in show. So that is exactly what we're gonna be doing today. I'll be sending the link out in just a couple of moments. Right now, I'm just gonna share this stream out for everybody because I don't think I got the chance to share the stream on Twitter. So those of you guys just popping in here, give me a couple of seconds here to share the stream out. Live call-in show. All right. What is going on, everybody? What is going on, 27 Squad? Welcome back in. I know you guys haven't seen me with my without my Giants coat in a while. I don't know what I did with it. I had it on yesterday, and I don't know where it's at. So that's why I was late. I was trying to figure out where the hell this thing is at. So what's going on, everybody? Where are you hiding? Say, where are you hiding, Giants? Oh man, we ain't hiding, man. We here. We're sadly here. Isaiah Wyatt, what's going on? Super Taj World, what is going on? Benjamin, what is going on? Mike Nixon, my boy, what is going on? Cheyenne, what's going on? Everybody in the building, what's going on? Levance, Edward, Wolves, Jaden, Logan, first commenter. Thank you guys so much for joining in the show. This is pretty. I want to do this every week. I want to call it. It's called the aftermath. Okay, we're gonna be doing a live show every week, a live call-in every week, and kind of get you guys' thoughts on what happened in the previous game, win or lose, with when it comes to the New York Giants. We can talk some more New York Giants when it comes to that. But man, yeah, I before we open up the I guess phone lines, or you would call it, how are you guys think? How are you guys thinking about this game? Big play, Slay in the building. What's going on, Angelo Rosario? What's going on? Um, I'm still a little upset, and I know, of course, it happens. It happens with every single game, with every fan and every team. We have these. Um, we have these over emotional thoughts in the day that those uh those games happen, win or lose, and then we come back down to earth, right? And we kind of, get a realistic feel about, what just happened. So that's why we're calling it the aftermath. We are gonna wait a day and kind of calm down and see where this is going from here. So I'll save it for when I talk to you, Hub, to the Hub. I mean, I think you mean you're talking about. Okay, B. All right, cool. All right, cool. All right, so basically, I guess everybody wants to save it till we open up the phone line. So, I will put the stream. I haven't done this in a while, guys. I could be a little rusty. And quickly before we start this, if we get a lot of callers, I'm going to try to limit just because I want to try to get everybody on. I don't want to have anyone feel left out. So if we get a lot of callers in and they start rolling in, I might have to cut you guys short and move on to the next callers. So my apologies, guys. My apologies. I'm very sorry. But let's go on. Let's post this in the chat. Very excited to talk to you guys again. Very excited to talk to you guys again. You guys can put that on. I'm going to try to pin it. Let me go to YouTube real quick. Let me hit up YouTube real quick. Let me go to pin message so it's there. Evan, what's going on, Evan? What's going on, Evan? Kid Orange. Why Kid Orange? Oh, because of the shirt, maybe? This is it's a reddish, pinkish, salmon-ish shirt. So go ahead and join in, guys. Join in. Be starting this call-in show soon and talk about Giants at Broncos. Giants have Kid Orange Broncos. No, not a Broncos fan. Not a Broncos fan at all. Not doing that at all. Will you guys call in and give me you guys' thoughts. All right. So as we wait for people to come in here, Let's talk to Mikey Nixon. Mike Nixon, what's going on, bro?
Oh my God, KB. I had I had this feeling for a month
I'll be
that
honest with
our
you, man. Me too.
defense that our defense would underperform.
I didn't have that same feeling as you, but I did have a feeling that we were going to lose this game and lose it bad. Like it was in the back of my mind. I ignored it for so long. Maybe I should have listened to it. But I mean, what did you think about this defense was going to be? Extremely worrisome for you.
Our biggest strength, our secondary.
Mm.
Or I mean, it's not even that. It's the play calling. I thought we would see more man to man.
Yeah,
And
I thought so too.
and we stuck with the same shit that happened last year. Soft zone bullshit. You can't run soft zone on third and two, third and three, third and five.
Mm-hmm.
It's it they're easily gonna get a first down.
Yeah, it's just when you play that soft zone coverage like that, and I'm glad that you mentioned that too because like last in the draft, and especially when we were targeting free agents, we obviously thought that we're going to switch to a man defense and kind of play more aggressively, and we didn't see that this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. So,
And
hmm
another thing I'm upset about is all the Daniel Jones haters are blaming this game on Daniel Jones. I understand he should have slid,
hmm
but I respect the fact that he was going out there, make a play, lower his shoulder.
yeah, yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I see. I could agree with you there, Mike, if it was the first occasion, right? I could agree with
Yeah,
you if this was the first time he fumbled and he was, putting the team on his back and doing it that way.
yeah,
I cannot excuse the fact, however, him constantly doing this, right? Constantly
yeah,
not sliding. Like
yeah,
this is becoming just a reoccurring thing that I think people are just getting sick of. And I'll be honest with you, I I think he made up for it later on. I think he played well. I think that was pretty much one of his only mistakes there. I don't think he
yeah.
played terribly at all. And I don't
I
I don't
don't,
agree with
I,
yeah, I don't
I
agree with
don't
that.
blame
Uh-huh.
this game on him whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's the defense that
Right.
cost us this game.
Right. And in no way, shape, or form would I put this game on Daniel Jones. I don't think he did anything wrong. Well, anything too bad. I know that fumble, changes the whole momentum of the game. I get that. But I agree with you. I don't think that was, he should be to blame for there. It should be the defense. And I know people love Joe Judge. I know people love Patrick Graham, but they have to get some fault sometime too. You know what I'm saying? That they have to take some
Yeah,
responsibility.
I
Um,
mean, Joe Judge owned up to his mistake and his
mhm.
pressure for throwing that challenge flag. I
Yeah, that
like
was
that.
so dumb. I mean, I like that, but the excuse was dumb. I mean, yeah, that's like a rookie coach
Yeah,
thing, and I,
yeah,
I get he was
yeah,
trying to get their attention or whatever, but you're in the second half already. You lost your
yeah.
timeout. You lost a crucial timeout. You know this game is close. Well, it was close at the time. You don't. I
yeah.
don't. Why would you want to do that to yourself? Well, why would you want to put your team in that kind of
And,
position? Even if we did have it
But,
close, now you just have two timeouts left.
but I've been saying this all off season that Jason Garrett needs to be fired. I'm sick of
Hmm
the I'm sick of the routes.
I
I'm
agree.
you signed Kenny Galladay, who's a contested catch receiver, and you barely test him. And I know that the Broncos have a great secondary, but come on.
Yeah, they didn't even try
Come
to
on.
design plays for him or anything like that. They didn't like they waited till the game was over that to start
Yeah,
making him the
garbage
number
time.
one. Yeah, making him the number one read there. I noticed that
I,
Daniel Jones would like lock onto him and then throw the ball. That shows that he was probably the number one read. But most of that game, I
mhm.
didn't even know Kenny Galladay was on the field because he was probably the last
Yeah,
read. He was like the last read on most of those
and
routes.
and I would have liked to see Kadarius Tony more
Right. We had the
because
whole significant role thing and he had 2 receptions.
yeah, and what they were doing, I liked putting him in motion in
Oh
the
yeah.
backfield,
Mhm. Yeah,
and
I agree. I agree. I wanted to see all of that. Let me get the super chat real quick. Tudo
uh,
Azuri, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, man. Salute to you. He says, salute KB. We should bring you to Italy and pack you up with some muscles and play some rugby, paisano. Drop to pay proper respects and all. Appreciate that, Tudo. I wonder how you're feeling over there in Italy about this loss, man. But thank you so much for the $5 super chat, bro. Salute to you, my friend. Josh Valencia with the $2 super chat. My one of my favorite Dolphin fans around here. He said, "What's up, Kid Blue? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well too, Josh. And you guys had a win. You guys week 1 win with Tua, okay, against Mac Jones, in New England. Salute to you, man. I believe that was an away game, if I'm not mistaken, was it? But yeah, good win there in the AFC East opponent, Josh. Appreciate the super chat, my friend. But keep going, Mike. Go ahead.
I just hope that this defensive performance was just a fluke.
That it was what? That was just this week.
Yeah, pretty much a fluke.
Oh, fluke. Okay, yeah. I mean, I hope so. But I'll be honest with you. I was very shocked last year when how they were always constantly on the field, the defense. And I was
Yeah,
very shocked with how energetic they stayed throughout the whole game. I think we're starting to see them wear down now. Because for the
yeah,
majority of the defense, this is the same defense, For the majority of
yeah.
the players, this is the same defense. So
Mhm.
you got to imagine some of that exhaustion, some of that, I guess, mental frustration that they're experiencing from the offense is kind of playing out in this week. That's what I kind of noticed there. They had that fumble. We did nothing with it. We had to punt it. It was 3 and out. Remember that? And then,
Yeah,
Daniel Jones goes ahead and fumbles it away when he just got the ball. And then, had the defense right back on the field in bad field position. All that plays into their morale and
mhm.
how they're playing throughout the game as far as their motor goes.
You're right. And you seen it at the end with that big run by Melvin Gordon. They were just mentally
Hmm.
drained at that point.
Yeah, I completely agree, man.
Mentally drained. But I just hope for a better performance on Thursday.
Yeah,
And
short week, short week.
yeah, which I mean I hate Thursday night games. I hate it.
You hate it?
I
Oh,
hate
well, you hate it because it's a short week, right? For the
yeah.
players. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, one good thing is that, I mean, we don't have many injuries to really be afraid. I know we still have Evan Ingram out and Saquon is recovering, but the only good thing I will say is, like, let's get this Thursday night game out the way because we kind of have a pretty healthy roster right now. Let's get it out the way and we don't have to deal with it for the rest of the year.
Barkley was limited today.
Who?
Barkley, he
Yeah, he
was
was limited.
limited.
Hmm. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I mean,
Which
same thing like last week. He was limited. Hmm.
yeah, but it seems like Evan Ingram's probably not gonna play. I mean, and he not to say this in a bad way. I think he should sit out and have him ready for the third game.
Yeah, and
He,
Everchan just said that in the chat too. Barkley looks scared. I mean, like I'm not gonna sit here
Yeah,
and like attack his character, attack him as a player,
yeah,
but he honestly looked. He didn't look mentally prepared for this game. It's like he would take the ball, he would see open field and see another opponent there, and was like, "Oh my god, let me hide behind my offensive lineman. Let me just try to get through and try to make
yeah,
yardage that way." That is not the
yeah.
Saquon Barkley we
I
saw.
noticed.
And you know what's crazy? Nobody's really talking about it like that. Like nobody's really talking about how mentally like kind of different that Saquon looked out there. He did not look like Saquon, and
Yeah,
it didn't look like an injured Saquon. Besides that slip
yeah.
he had, it didn't look like an
Yeah.
injured like injured Saquon, but it just looked like a mentally unprepared Saquon.
Hmm. I
Yeah,
mean, and who knows? Maybe it was jitters.
yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm. Maybe it was jitters.
we'll
I hope it was. I hope it was, man.
we'll see. We'll see when he faces Washington. He always does good against Washington. So
Undefeated, undefeated.
undefeated, undefeated.
So before I switch you out, Mike, what are you thinking about this Thursday game? Give me your quick thoughts, man.
I mean, I just hope we win, or I mean, the the defense just performs better
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, if the defense performs better, and I mean, and obviously, yeah, the offense, but I mean, our offense wasn't that bad except the play calls with the stick routes.
Mm-hmm.
They, I hate it. I hate that.
I feel you, man. I feel you. Trust me. Hey, guess what though? You know what happened? I hope Jason Garrett learns from this when they watch film. What was the one time we had success, running advanced routes? Well, that crossing route with Sterling Shepard, that was a touchdown, right? I mean, that wasn't a
Yeah,
spot route, and we scored on that. That shows that if we just call
yeah,
anything other than a spot route, we could have success on this team.
I know,
Uh-huh.
I know,
It's
and
it's so rare for him to call that. I don't understand that.
you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Garrett and this offense don't get get it together week two. I wouldn't be surprised if Jason Garrett's gone.
I wouldn't be surprised either, especially with the uproar with the fans. I mean, they listen, man, and
Mhm.
we're not obviously not happy, and this has been a reoccurring thing for ever since Jason Garrett got here,
Look
and that's
at
going back to
look at
last year.
look at last year with Mark Colombo.
Yeah, he was out of there. He was right on out of there. So
Mhm.
we'll see what happens, man. But I'm
But
look.
hey, KB,
Mhm.
I appreciate you
Yes,
doing
sir.
this.
Yes, sir. I know you've been asking, man. I was like, yo,
Yeah,
I know everybody wants to talk, man. I got to give them an outlet to talk. I got to let Mike Nixon talk,
yeah,
man.
yeah. Where's the crane grape though?
You know what's funny? I have crank grape downstairs. I have it downstairs. I'll bring it next time.
Ah, ah, ah. All right, good talking to you,
Uh,
KB.
all right, Mikey.
Uh,
Later, man. All right, that was Mike Nixon. You guys know Mike Nixon. He's been a part of the channel for years now. Ever since I started call-ins, he made himself known. He as the first caller all the time, and he was the first caller today. Love that guy. All right, let me quickly address the chat before we bring the next guest in here. Jay Fed. It says we all hate Thursday, but we all watch. Yeah, that's very true. I mean, because I'm a football junkie, so I watch football whenever football is on, and I like Thursday night football because if football is closer. You don't have to wait till Sunday to watch football. So I like it. Luann in the building. She said, "Hey kid, what's going on, Luann? Appreciate you joining in." John Schmidt said while Mike was on, did you see the clip of Nate Solder accidentally blocking our running back on a pass play? Yes, I saw that actually live, and I just didn't say anything because I did not want to mention it on stream because I didn't want that kind of energy. But yes, I did see that. I did see that. And now everybody's joking around with us about it. But I will say in real time, it doesn't look that bad. It was Nate Solder trying to get ahead, and Devontae Booker was trying to lay a chip block and just ran right into Nate Solder. I mean, when you see it in real time, it doesn't look as bad, but you pause it and it's like, damn, Devontae Booker really just tried to block Nate Solder, or Nate Solder tried to block Devontae Booker, however you want to look at it. You missed Pat Shurmur. Okay. But let's bring in our next guest in here. And you know what? I'm kind of upset. I'm very upset and disappointed in the Giants community that you guys let the second caller of a show be an Eagles fan. An Eagles fan.
Oh my God.
This man, big play slay in the building.
How was your day yesterday? How was your day?
On his high horse has so much. I bet you have so much confidence. Your team is 1-0.
No,
only team.
I don't have that much confidence.
No.
I have confidence after yesterday's win, but I'm not gonna rub it off too much because it's the Falcons. Like,
I like that. You know what? I like that. But talk to me, man. Why'd you call in today? Why'd you call in today?
I want to talk about the Giants.
All right, let's talk.
This is a Giants channel, and I wouldn't be right if I just came on here to talk about the Eagles. But where do we even begin, man? Yesterday's loss against the Broncos. Teddy Bridgewater looked like a Hall of Famer out there against that defense.
Tell me about
Top
it, dude.
10 defense that you always say. Like, what was that performance?
I'm telling you, let me tell you one thing, Slay. I'm sure you've been watching the Giants for a while because you're an Eagles fan, so you know how to watch the enemy. You know, I do the same thing. I watch the enemy. You know that the Giants, like, whenever there's like a certain pattern in the NFL, the Giants are the guys to break it. Like if there is, like, I don't know, a quarterback who just sucks and like, oh my God, he's throwing 3 interceptions a game. This guy hasn't thrown a touchdown pass in five straight games. When he plays the Giants, he will throw 4 touchdowns. Like, that is the type of team the Giants are. So when you look at the consistency about where their defense was, it was bound to happen that they were just going to break and disappoint everybody. That's just who they are. That's who the Giants are. And Teddy Bridgewater, Teddy Two Gloves, the guy that throws, is a game manager. He has some good games. He never really plays the way he played there. And of course the Giants would make him look like that. Of course. It's just the Giants way, man. It's just the Giants way.
A top 10 defense makes Teddy Bridgewater look like the next Patrick Mahomes out there.
I know, dude. I know. He was moving out the pocket, escaping the sack, throwing dimes on the run on 4th down. I mean, he was doing it all. We were making him money is what we were doing. We were making him get that contract extension.
Yeah, Tim Patrick looked good against your defense.
Tim Patrick. You know what's crazy? Tim Patrick only had 4 catches for 39 yards and a touchdown. That's like pedestrian stats, right? But when on the field, it was like he was there in crucial moments. He caught that 4th down. He caught all those catches that needed to be caught. Mm-hmm. And I think he has the touchdown. I could be wrong, but
yeah, I think he had 1 touchdown.
And man, it's like all like in crucial moments, man. Just like Javonte Williams, he had like 3.2 yards per carry, but he still got crucial yards needed throughout the game. It's crazy.
Yeah. I had Daniel Jones. Oh my God.
Hey, but one thing we gotta admit, Daniel Jones didn't play terribly. I mean, he fumbled.
KB, ask my fellow Eagles fans. Mm-hmm. I was the #1 defender of Daniel Jones this entire offseason.
Wow, and for that, I give you props, dude. For that, I give you props.
I said he's never had anything to work with. Yesterday's game shows you that he just doesn't have that killer instinct. And I think that's something Jalen Hurts has that Daniel Jones doesn't.
One thing I will tell you, and I can't even dispute that, dude, because Jalen Hurts looked so much more better than Daniel Jones. I mean, in this past week, I cannot say anything to you. I won't trash talk. I won't debate it because I mean, I'm just gonna take that L right now. And I honestly think I will say this. I honestly think you're right. I don't think that Daniel Jones really has killer instinct in him, like a Matt Stafford, or like, because Matt Stafford will come back in games out of nowhere, throw deep bombs down the field and throw receivers open, like Eli Manning in his prime or whatever, doing those comebacks. Daniel Jones doesn't have that in him. He's not a guy to really put the team on his back and really make the throws needed. He really relies on other players. I mean, it reminds me a lot of like a Kirk Cousins or something like that, like a guy that has talent, has everything you need, just doesn't have. You're right. That's a perfect phrase to use. Killer instinct. He just doesn't have it. When we're behind in games where we need to make a play, yes, he'll make plays on his feet every once in a while. But yeah, it pains me to say that, man, because I really want him to be our franchise quarterback. But how can you have a franchise quarterback that doesn't have that killer instinct, that when you're down in games, he brings you back? He doesn't have that right now. We have not seen that besides his rookie season. His rookie season, he was doing a lot of that. Granted, we didn't win a lot of games, but you look at his first game against the Buccaneers. I mean, we only won that game because Matt Gay missed that kick, but that first game against the Buccaneers, I mean, he was bringing us back despite us, losing that lead and possibly having that game be a blowout. He was bringing us back. We thought he would have that it factor. He just, right now, he hasn't shown it.
Yeah, 100%. And I saw Mike Nixon's chat his comment in the chat. I don't know if you want to take a quarterback next year unless it's Howell, Carson Strong, or the other kid from Liberty. Spencer Rattler, you want no part of that. He's worse than Jones, honestly.
Tell me about it. Tell me about Spencer Rattler, because I'm hearing, man. I'll be honest with you. I watch college football not to the extent I need to, but when draft comes around, that's when I really get invested. But I'm hearing that this quarterback class is so bad this year. Like there's some good players out there. There's some good quarterbacks, just not one that you're dying to give a first overall pick to.
Yeah. Howell maybe. I still think he has to work on things a bit.
He's the North Carolina one, right?
Yeah, he's the North Carolina one.
So Mitch Trubisky again? Oh man, I don't want another Mitch Trubisky.
You don't want that. Malik Willis, yeah, him.
Malik Willis, okay, from Liberty.
That dude is special. He has some talent. If that raw upside is balanced together, and I would say almost sort of a complete team on both sides. It's just a quarterback position and maybe a couple positions on the offense. But Rattler, man, he's terrible. He got benched in the game actually this year. So that's
really,
yes, yeah.
So why? So I'm interested then. Why is he considered a first round prospect, let alone considered the best quarterback in his draft class? Why is that?
The media loves him. They love him because he plays in Oklahoma.
So big air raid offense,
Yeah, since any quarterback that comes from Oklahoma, they just assume you're a good quarterback, which isn't always true. You're not Jalen Hurts, you're not Baker, you're not Kyler.
Right.
And he's just too inconsistent. He's like Jones. He has one good half, and then the next half he just makes you want to rip your hairs out.
We don't need another one of those. We don't need another one of those.
But I think your team is almost complete, and I hate defending you guys. I hate doing it.
Dude, I am so surprised that you do defend us. I got to give you so much props, man.
Yeah. I just hate defending y'all, but I have to on some occasions because, I think your team is complete. I just don't see it with Daniel Jones. He could be the quarterback of the future if he just manages the offense this year, but I just don't think he fits that team at all.
Yeah, it's like a lot of people are waiting for him to develop, but right now we're in year 3. Technically, if we want to talk about quarterback of the future, we're in the future, right? This is his 3rd year in the NFL. He has to show something. I mean, he's got to show us that he could come back in games and win games. He's got to have a winning record. You got to do something with that. We can't pay millions and millions of dollars to a quarterback that can't bring us back in a game when we need him the most. And that has to be despite his weapons. And we have some weapons right now. So, I mean, it's hard.
Yeah. Saquon Barkley, man, I'm glad I traded him in fantasy.
You were able to trade him? Wow.
Yes, I traded him. This was like a couple weeks ago.
Mm.
I thought he was going over 100 in the Broncos game because of that interior defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Until they were saying he was a little roughed up. They were saying he was healthy, but I just didn't trust it, so I had to trade him. And I got Derrick Henry back, so
Back? So you traded him away and got him back?
I got Derrick. No,
In return for Saquon.
I traded Derrick Henry not Derrick Henry. I traded Barkley and Hopkins to a friend of mine's for Robert Woods and Derrick Henry. I know it may not look like a good trade, but
just because of this past week, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
This past week, Derrick Henry didn't do anything. I have him on one of my fantasy leagues. He did nothing for me, but it could be a good trade. You got rid of a guy like Saquon that I think, honestly, I'll be honest with you. I'm a Giants fan to the end. To the end, I stood away from Saquon in all of my leagues. All of my leagues, I stood away from Saquon because even if he comes back later on in the year and does well, like these first couple of games is going to be hard for Saquon because I knew he was going to get off to a rough start. It's not easy coming back from an ACL. So,
yeah, y'all got to fire Garrett. I think y'all should fire Garrett.
Y'all want him? Let's trade.
No. Nick Sirianni is a legend in the making.
Oh, gosh. Oh, no. I know. I mean, congrats for him getting his first win. His first game is a win. I mean, congrats to him for that, But, how you feeling about Jalen Hurts, man? How you feeling about him? You got more confidence in him now?
I have more confidence in him, but it's not to the point where I'll say he's already a legit quarterback because he's good. He's solid. Honestly, I thought Jones was better going into the season than Hurts because he only played 4 games.
Right.
But it kind of changes a little bit now.
Yeah.
I think Hurts may be better just by a little bit because he has more of a killer instinct.
And he just does. I think what I see from Jalen Hurts, nobody really knows this too much because I was supposed to make a video on this, but NFL Game Pass shut down coaches' film, so I couldn't make the video. Yeah. So I watched every single play Jalen Hurts had last year from on coaches' film. I broke down every single play. It was tough. It was very, very painful because I had to watch the Eagles play for hours. But I'm very familiar with Jalen Hurts, and I think he has all the right tools. I do think that. I think he has arm talent. I think he has decent accuracy. It's all there. There's bits and pieces all there. I don't think he necessarily is elite in anything yet, and that's not in a bad way. Yeah, I don't think he's necessarily elite in anything yet. I think he has potential in all categories to be elite in all categories. I don't think he has elite elusive ability and mobile run ability. I don't think he's really that elite in that, but he can be. His accuracy, don't think he's elite in that. I think he's decent. He's okay. His ball placement is kind of spotty, very spotty sometimes. His anticipation gets kind of bad, but I'm telling you, I watched a lot of Jalen Hurts last year, and I do like what I see from Jalen Hurts as much as it pains me to say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if he does good against San Fran, I think the confidence level will get bumped up from here. It was already right here because we're going crazy because we beat one of the worst teams in the NFL, but it's still a really good win.
Right.
It's gonna bump up all the way there. Just imagine the next day. Giants fans, I'm sorry, but y'all are not getting any sleep after that. Y'all's sleep is not gonna be good.
Especially if we lose on Thursday. If we lose on Thursday and you guys go 2-0, I don't even give a damn about Dallas right now. I don't care. I don't got any. I'm not in communication with any hardcore Dallas fans right now, or really close contact with anybody. But I got a lot of Eagles fans on my channel. I got a lot of Eagles fans on Twitter, and I gotta stick it to you guys. We gotta win. We gotta freaking win. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yep, 100%. Daniel Jones likes to do good against Washington, so
he's undefeated. That's the only thing I'm holding on to right now. He's undefeated. So undefeated against Washington. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The Giants suck still. I'll say this at the end. The Giants suck. Your reaction, I forgot to tell you this. Your reaction to the Devontae Smith going to us was godly. That was the greatest reaction by another fan's team.
Yeah, apparently it was. It got like over like almost 60,000 views.
That was amazing. that was hilarious, bro. It was just hilarious because well, the girl in the back, right? Was that your girl?
My girlfriend, yeah.
Yeah, your girlfriend, right? She
Uh-huh.
was just laughing, and it was even hilarious because she was laughing at the pick because we had it, and she was laughing for us, and that was, oh my god, that was great, man.
Yeah, that was a very painful day. A
Hey,
very
man,
painful day.
you're
Yeah.
a legend in this community. The OBJ trade, and the Devontae Smith thing.
Oh
Super
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm well known for my abrupt emotional rants.
Yeah, 100%, man. Thanks for having me on, though, KB.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate you joining on. I'll be trying to do this every week, so if you want to call on every week and we'll talk Eagles and Giants, we'll do that, man. Appreciate you.
I'm definitely coming on for that Eagles Giants one.
All right.
1000%.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'll be
It's
looking
gonna be a
forward to
great
that
one.
one. All
Yeah,
right,
go peace
man.
out, man. You have a good one.
You too, dude. All right, everybody. That was Big Play Slay. Y'all see him in the chat as Big Play Slay, resident Eagles fan right there. Teddy Two, yeah, everybody calls him Teddy Two Gloves. KB, don't blow a gasket just yet. We still have 16 games left to go to show our talent. I feel you, Earl. I feel you, but it's like, how many week one games do we have to lose, dude? How many week one home openers do we have to lose? So, all right, let's bring on our next guest. Our next guest in here, Awesomeness Sports. What's up, Awesomeness Sports?
I'm good. How are you doing, man?
I'm good. Yo, Washington fan. Washington fan?
Mm-hmm. Hell
All
yeah.
right. All right. Talk to me. What do you want to talk about?
About the loss, bro. That loss sucked. Had my own live stream. I was screaming. I was mad. But at the end of the day, the Washington football team still the best to me. But man, that was horrible.
Yeah,
Horrible.
So tell me about it. What was really the downfall for Washington against the Chargers?
Antonio Gibson fumbling. Now I know that's a mistake. He has never done that before, but that fumbling twice made it worse. So,
Oh
there you
man.
go.
Well, I mean, then how do you feel about this Thursday game coming up against the Giants?
Lord, now Antonio Gibson's now on the injured reserve list, but hopefully he'll be fine. But if not, then hey, I hope he does play on Thursday. If he does, that's cool.
Oh.
But yeah, I do feel like I hope this team can be bouncing back because how are you gonna have months and months to try not to prepare? Like that's my question.
I know. Yeah, I feel you from both teams. From both
Yeah,
teams.
from both teams. I was just like, how does the Denver Broncos have 27 points? I was like, damn.
Yeah.
You guys were trying to do it, but I was like, yeah, Daniel Jones fumbled. I was like, damn.
Yep.
Trying to watch that game, but hey, it's what it is.
It was hard to watch for me, man. It's hard to watch.
Oh, believe me, man, it's been hard to watch for me too. Seeing this team right here for this longest time since I've been here.
Yeah. How do you feel about the quarterback situation now? Chad Heineke is going to be starting for you, right?
Yeah,
Taylor Heineke.
I'm happy about that. Let's start Taylor Heineke.
Yeah.
Taylor Heineke. Yeah. I'm sorry, but yeah, that's what it is, man. Taylor Heineke all the way, bro. That is the man of the hour. I love him.
Yeah. I mean, so that means Fitzpatrick is done, right? I mean, for 6 to 8 weeks he's done. So I mean, he's not going to be playing.
Yeah.
Right? So it's all Heineke from there.
Oh yeah. Oh Heineke. I believe that kid. He did well in the playoffs last year, but this time during the Chargers he did well. So I'm not even mad, but it was just like a lot of mistakes from the defense. Needs to step it up. The offense needs to step it up too.
Because, I mean, Terry McLaurin, he's really good. Oh, my God. I love that guy.
I
He's the
love Terry
best.
McLaurin. I had him on one of my fantasy teams, but he only had like 10 points for me.
Well, hey, he's still good to me, man. And
Yeah.
Logan Thomas. Oh, yeah. Logan Thomas. He's the
All right,
best.
so are you from DC? Authentic just asked in the chat. Are you from DC? Is
Yeah,
that why you? Yeah.
yeah. Hell
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
yeah. Yeah,
Oh man.
pretty much, man. Like, it's
Hmm.
it's just a beautiful time to just sit here and say, yes, you're DC Sports everything. I'm DC Sports everything, bro.
Yeah.
Wizards, Nationals, Capitals, you can name that. DC United.
Mm. You gonna have you got Washington winning the East this year?
I don't know. We'll see. I'm not even gonna do it right now because after that loss, I might let me rethink about my evaluation.
Yeah, I'm completely on board with you. I was like so rah Giants this whole time, and now I see that loss. I'm like, damn, I gotta rethink everything now.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that would be, I kept thinking to myself, so is Washington going to, be able to, you know, do what they have to do? I don't know. I believe that they can,
Hmm.
but with Ron Rivera, I know sometimes he does his game changers, and it's a lot
Mm.
of that man. So I hope they can bounce back. I hope Scott Turner can bounce back too, because that man, I don't know.
How do you feel about that defense now? I mean, I know they only allowed 20 points. I mean, which is good. Do you have confidence in that defense? Because I mean, they looked really good on paper. I mean, they got a lot of pieces in there. They added a lot of pieces too. I mean, do you still have confidence in them?
Yeah, I still have confidence in the defense. Yes, I do. I still do. No
Mm,
matter what, man.
mm. All right, all right. Well, is there anything else you wanted to add?
Well, I wanted to say Giants do suck. Eagles do suck. But you know what? I'm gonna leave you guys alone because it's the Eagles fans right now. You Eagles fans keep talking like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna win. We won this game. Yeah, one game. It was the Falcons. They choke every year, bro.
Thank
So what
you.
are you talking about?
Thank you. Thank you. I know it was just the Falcons. It's just the Falcons. So we got to see them against a worthy opponent.
Oh yeah, I hope the 49ers destroys them.
Oh, me too. Me too. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. All right, awesome. The sports. So you got a channel? You make YouTube videos?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's Osman Sportsman. Just type it up in there. It's Osman
Okay.
Sports, and
Okay. You can leave a link if you want in my chat, and then hopefully people will subscribe. But
all right, man. I
all
got
right,
it.
all
All right.
right. Thank you so much for calling in.
You're welcome.
All right,
Thanks,
bye.
John. All right.
All right, that was awesome. The sports. Anybody else want to call in right now? We're fresh out of callers, so if you guys want to call in, you'll be right. You'll be right up next. You'll be right up next to talk to me. We can talk some Giants football. We can talk some NFC East football. Talk about this loss, man. Let's try to cope together. Try to cope together. Yeah, y'all need to get your rants in real quick. Yeah, man. Giants going to smack the Washington Redskins. Trust me. I have confidence in this game. I do have confidence in the game, even though it's a short week. Like I said, I think it was when Mike was on. I was talking about the injuries right now. As far as the Giants go, we don't have a lot of injuries right now. So it's like let's get this Thursday night game out the way, and let's move on from here. Let's get this Thursday night game out the way. We don't have a lot of injuries. I know a lot of people hate Thursday night games. I don't really like Thursday night games for the Giants just because it forces us to have a short week. So let's try to bounce back here. We're at Washington. Daniel Jones is undefeated versus Washington. Let's try to keep it going and move on to week 3 from there. I think we face the Falcons in week 3. So we get this win. Think about it, guys. We get this win against the Washington football team, and then we'll go. We'll have a 10-day sort of I guess gap between them and the Falcons. We have a longer week to prepare for the Falcons, and that's a game that we should win. On this 2K with the homies right now with KB in the mix. I appreciate that all that. I appreciate you having me on the background, bro. I appreciate that, dude. on socials once, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you Saquon will return to his regular self? Guys, I don't want to scare anybody here, and I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I'm really not trying to be, but I don't have a lot of confidence that he's going to be the same throughout this year or quickly throughout this year. I know a lot of people, like my boy Kush, a lot of people were saying that, trying to, he's going to have a comeback play of the year type season, and he tore his ACL. He's going to come back better than ever and all that stuff. And I've said this since the beginning, since the offseason. I said Saquon Barkley is going to take a little bit of time to come back. Now, I did not think that it would be a mental issue. Now, we're all speculating here, right? We're all speculating. I don't think he is physically injured. I think he's mentally unprepared. Now, that could be making excuses for Saquon. That could be, blaming something on Saquon that's out of his control to kind of save him. I don't know, however you guys want to call it. I'm not trying to make excuses for Saquon because I'm very frustrated at that too. But I don't think Saquon Barkley is mentally prepared. I think he's a little spooked out. I'm guessing that ACL tear was very, very hurtful, right? I think it was very hurtful. And that is Awesome in the Sports, guys. You guys go ahead and subscribe. Washington football fan. Awesome in the Sports. Make sure you guys subscribe. But like I said, I'm not to answer your question, SoCal One. To answer your question, how confident am I that he returns to his regular self? 4 out of 10. And I know 4 out of 10 sounds bad, but 4 out of 10 just means less than likely, because 50% means half. I'm half confident. I'm not half confident. I'm definitely a little not as confident. So a 4 out of 10, I think so. Hey, oh man. He's smiling already. We got our old face in here, throwing it back to the old days. My man OGR in the building.
What's going on, my man?
So good to talk to you, man. What's up,
I was
dude?
sitting down watching Lamar and whatnot, and I said, let's see who's on live real quick on YouTube. And I'm like, Kid Blue, I know that kid. So I just joined it because I got a lot of shit to get off my chest.
All right, well, go ahead, dude. Everybody is welcoming you back in the YouTube space, man. Welcome back, dude. Welcome back. Well, so yeah, go ahead,
man. What I've heard today, I've heard 9-minute rants, 7 of which have been about Daniel Jones. 1 minute has been about Joe Judge, and about 15 seconds on the defense. Okay, that's one rant from one YouTuber. Another YouTuber, Daniel Jones apologist, blaming nothing but the defense, and then whatnot. Everybody's got it wrong. Right. Every single person's got it wrong. One, it was a complete another disaster across the board. You want to blame Daniel? Well, then why is the defense giving up 8-9 minute drives? It's inexcusable. Mm-hmm. You're going to do that, you're going to lose every time. Even if Daniel scores and doesn't fumble that football, that's 7-14. What's Denver going to do? They're going to drive right back down the field and score again, a field goal, at the very least a touchdown. Mm-hmm. And we're going to go tit for tat with a team that's controlled the ball as much as we have, and our defense couldn't stop a bad cold. We're making KJ Hamler look like prime Penn State KJ Hamler.
Oh my gosh.
That's what we made KJ Hamler.
I know. And that's the team's 4th best. Now, granted, he's a good receiver. I like KJ Hamler, but that's the 4th best receiver. We made him look like that.
But here's the bigger issue, and I say this all the time, and it's not talked about enough. Let's say we have a bad season. Let's say that Daniel Jones isn't the guy. And let's just say, for instance, Gabe Gettleman's gone, right? Mm-hmm. You'd agree. What's going on, Authentic? I saw your message. But that being said, does anybody really expect this to be fixed? I mean, really? Like, okay, so Dave Gettleman's gone. Okay, what are we going to replace him with? You're going to go get any GM you want. This is a desirable job. You can go get any GM and just partner with Joe Judge and everything's suddenly better. No, because over the last 8 or 9 years, what has been the biggest problem with the New York Football Giants? Every major decision. Who makes that major decision?
Ownership.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So you're looking to the messiahs, the ownership, to fix the problem that have brought you in the same damn problem. What did we do in 2018? What did everybody say? We should have rebuilt in 2018, right?
Right.
And what did ownership do? Which they came out early this spring, winter, and said, we wanted to win in 2018.
I think you cut off there. OGR.
No, I did cut off because
okay.
I got a call.
Okay.
And in 2018, okay, so getting back. So in 2018, well, who hired Dave Gettleman? Who gave Dave Gettleman the order to go out and win? Ownership. On the unceremonious firing of Tom Coughlin. Ownership. Keeping around Jerry Reese way too long. Ownership. Hiring Ben McAdoo. Ownership. The debacle of Eli Manning. Ownership. Every major decision we can. Who signed off on the Saquon pick? Yeah, sure, it was Dave Gettleman's pick. Ownership.
Right.
And people just act, okay, we're just gonna get a GM. We're gonna get all these guys. When are we gonna hold ownership's foot to the fire?
And it feels like no one's ever doing that. It doesn't. And you're right. You've been saying that since you were on YouTube, dude. You've been saying that forever. It's all been about ownership and the decision that they're making.
And what's going to end up happening? What we're going to do is, if we have a bad season, we're either going to get a stopgap quarterback, or we're going to attempt to break the bank and go get Aaron Rodgers. Okay, so great. So you want playoffs for maybe 2-3 years, and if you get that stopgap, okay, well, it's good enough to make the playoffs in 1 year maybe, and then you're right back to rebuild mode, because that either a quarterback's going to age out of existence, or you're just not going to get the same continuity. Continuity is not just built in the NFL. We know this. Every team you look around, Ravens, Kansas City Chiefs, all have proven commodities. And yeah, they may have a top 5 quarterback, but top quarterback isn't necessarily the success. As a Giants fan, we know that. Yeah. And I just, even if we have a bad season, I don't trust ownership to fix it. I really don't. I expect them to promote Kevin Abrams and make Kevin Abrams the GM. And the guy's been here for 11 years. He's seen all of that. And what Kevin Abrams is suddenly the answer? The answer's been in the building the whole time. Come on now.
Yeah.
He's the only one that has any continuity with Joe Judge.
Yeah. And that is honestly the only way we keep around Joe Judge, in my opinion. Like, and on top of that, wouldn't you have, like, if we were to hire another GM from another area, wouldn't it be, I guess, the more thing that makes sense to get rid of Joe Judge and kind of start fresh? I mean, and I know everybody doesn't want that because everybody loves Joe Judge, but like, you guys want to fire Dave Gettleman and get another GM? That's probably what's going to happen.
Absolutely. That's exactly what's going to happen.
And then from there on, Daniel Jones is gone. And then you're completely restarting.
Yeah. And ownership, you heard it. You heard Steve Tisch and John Mara come out and say, we want to win. That's great. Yeah. That's great that you want to win. At what cost?
Yeah.
Or what cost? What to go? What? So it's all Giants fans are okay. We're okay with making the playoffs for 1 year, and then we can rebuild after that. Well, then we might as well just start right fresh.
Right.
Because to rebuild, what you're going to do, you're going to get a young quarterback. You want to surround that young quarterback with the best offensive line you can, with offensive weapons. What are you going to do? You're going to sacrifice defensive things. You're going to let Jabril Peppers go. You're going to let Saquon Barkley walk. You can't afford these guys. And you've got to surround and give this guy the best option. Even though Saquon's great, you can't afford to keep Saquon. Not for $14-15 million that he's going to require.
Yeah.
Especially if he has a solid season. I mean, you know what? At the end of the day, it kind of sounds like I'm panicking. I'm not. But the way I look at it is, you either win the next 2 games or season's over. And I hate saying that.
Yeah, you do not want to start 0-3, especially with how much hype this team has been getting throughout the entire offseason, talking about, Joe Judge. Although I like Joe Judge, I'm getting a bit annoyed with him. I am. It doesn't seem like this team is playing. It doesn't seem like this team is playing the way that they were, I guess, promoted to, since the offseason with Joe Judge, how he's changing this team around and the culture is changing around. I love the culture. I love the unification of this team, but they're not translating it on the field.
And one thing I want to answer real quick. Somebody in chat said, "Oh, stop defending DJ." Everybody's criticisms about DJ are valid. Red striping, staring down his wideout, not always surveying the field, making mistakes in big spots, not, especially in the red zone. It seems like from 20 to 20, he's pretty solid. But when it comes down to the red zone, he makes the crucial mistake at the crucial time, looking like he's staring into death and that he's afraid for his life. Now, I'm not going to sit there and everybody's valid. But the reality is, even if I like DJ or don't like DJ, it's his season. It's his season to go prove it. I'm not going to change the Giants, where the Giants are just going to go mortgage the future, go Aaron Rodgers. Where's your option? You got no other option. It's right. DJ for the rest of the season. Even if I like DJ or don't like DJ, it don't matter. So, like, the whole criticism of DJ, go ahead. Make fun of him all day. I don't give a shit. It's like, it makes no difference. Oh, by the way, I'm not wearing this on purpose. It just, I like this shirt. It's comfortable, Hub. Good job. But, I wear this a lot at night, so.
Oh man, but I mean, as a whole, how are you feeling about the game yesterday? I mean, where are you really looking at? What went wrong here?
I mean, what went wrong? It just didn't seem like we were prepared. We didn't. It didn't seem like we were prepared at all for what Denver was going to throw at us. The only thing I'm going to give this Giants team credit for is their ability to pass block. It was halfway decent. I mean, except for that one time where Von Miller kind of blew up, what's his face on the right tackle? I can't think of his name right now.
Nate Solder?
Nate Solder, yeah. But except for that one play where he kind of blew up Nate Solder and embarrassed him, the pass blocking was really the only positive to take out of yesterday's game.
I was saying that I was going into this game confident in everything, all pieces besides the offensive line, and it turned out the offensive line was the only unit that did well. Like I said, I think they gave up 2 sacks. They were both from the right tackle spot, I believe. It was both Von Miller sacks. Nate Solder got beat on the inside, and then I'm not even gonna really much count the last sack because that was in garbage time. I mean, everybody was putting their, taking their foot off the gas pedal. I'm not really going to take that into account too much, the last sack, but the first sack was kind of bad.
The big worrying thing for me was Adoree Jackson and Xavier McKinney. It didn't seem like the communication was there, and maybe with any really corner on the field. It just seemed like, especially that long pass play that should have been a touchdown to KJ Hamler, he dropped in the end zone. That was a problem.
Oh my God. That I was so upset at that play, as if he actually caught it. Like how we were exposed that badly on that play. That I don't know.
That was a communication issue. I think Xavier McKinney got sucked up and been on the play action on that play, if I'm not mistaken. But the other thing is, what I was going to get into is, so Hub yesterday, I chuckled. So he goes, Xavier McKinney had like one decent play, and he goes, told you, best safety in that draft. And me and you were all about Antoine Winfield Jr.
Yeah, we're all
yesterday's game. I'm pretty sure we're still on the Antonio Winfield. I love Xavier.
I love Xavier too. I just think Antoine was better in that draft. That's it.
Yeah, same here. I've always liked ball hawking safeties.
Yeah, and I like the yin and yang in safeties. Jabril being that box safety, well, not really a box safety, but he's a hard hitting safety. You put in the box, has that linebacker type role, like a strong safety. And then the ball hawk, the guy that's a center fielder, he's a ball hawk. He goes everywhere, and that's what Antoine.
And Winfield I really don't see that happening. Now, I hope Xavier McKinney proves me wrong, but I think, like, if this is going to make any sense, he's a better all around safety. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he's not that ball hawk. He's not necessarily the greatest ball hawk in the world, but he's still a decent ball hawk. I mean, let's face it, there's plenty of plays you can point to at Alabama.
Right.
But it's just like, if you want somebody to cover from sideline to sideline, you need that, you need a decent safety deep. You need somebody in the box. It seems like he's a jack of all trades and not master of none. And me, I want that ball hawk. I want that guy that, Ed Reed, you ain't making it past me. And, I read your eyes. Interception. We're going the other way. I'm going to change this game.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think the big problem with the defense too is like playing that soft cushion zone against the type of receivers that we were going up against. Like we really didn't give them any sort of nuisance at all in with their routes or whatever. And they're all really good. Like Jerry Jeudy, one of the best route runners like in the NFL right now. KJ Hamler's a really good slot receiver. Tim Patrick, a big body receiver, along with Courtland Sutton. Courtland Sutton got shut down by James Bradbury, but all the other receivers looked like had a lot of success. And that's because we're playing that soft zone coverage. I mean, Adoree Jackson, I gave up that 4th down play. That's because they were playing like that deep cover 3. And so he had that one of the thirds back there and did not pay attention to what was in front of him. And I think that was a big fault too, is us playing that zone defense. And I think that the secondary is built for a man defense, in my opinion. So I don't know really what went wrong there. I thought they wanted to go man this season, but
yeah, same here.
not.
And the other thing is, I mean, the same thing over and over again. The last 8 or 9 years, the Giants have always been exposed in the middle of the field, especially
tight
rollouts,
ends, tight ends, man,
and tight ends. Noah Fant and the other kid there, he just ate us up all day.
Right.
And nobody really wanted to talk about Noah Fant. Like, a lot of people wanted to edge on. Like, I know a lot of people do their reviews, and at the end of the day, you know, even though we're Giants YouTubers, you know, at the end of the day, we have a little biases, and a lot of guys are like, well, I'll give us the, you know, the advantage in the tight end room. I'm sorry. Has anybody watched Noah Fant play at Iowa? I have.
Yeah,
that kid is a hell of a fucking player.
That's why I said in the preview, especially without Evan Ingram. I don't think too much of Evan Ingram anyway. But like without Evan Ingram, he had to give the edge to the tight end room to the Broncos there. Noah Fant's good, and I think you know why Noah Fant is being overshadowed is because of T.J. Hawkinson, because they came from the same school, you know what I mean, and the same draft. So I honestly think people think less of Noah Fant because of T.J. Hawkinson.
Noah Fant's the better all around tight end. Now, the better pass catcher, the guy is going to get you yak after the play. That's Hawkinson all day. But Noah Fant, he's the guy who's going to get in the trench. He's going to get down there. He's going to stick your helmet in your chest. And, oh, by the way, he can still catch the ball and he can still go up the seam.
Right.
I mean, yesterday, the takeaway of the game was just pathetic. You know, like, I mean, really nothing positive on the defense. Not a single thing was positive. You know, maybe an individual thing. I guess Blake, I guess if I'm going to go individual, especially early in that game, he was there kind of sticking his nose in there. But, I mean, solid game by Blake, I guess, if you really want to throw a solid game. I really can't. There's really no other positive. I mean, Pat Shurmur ate friggin' Patrick Graham's lunch.
I am hoping that, and I know this is a different defense than when Pat Shurmur was here, but I'm just hoping this game was a disaster as much as it was because Pat Shurmur just called a really good game because he's a good offense coordinator.
He is.
I'm really hoping, like I'm hanging on to this, that Pat Shurmur just called a really good game against us, and that was what it was. But
problem is, I mean, Jabril Pepper's got it. I mean, last year he was decent against tight ends, and maybe it's the first game he wasn't really ready to go. But he got exposed when he was one-on-one Noah Fant or the other guy. He was getting burnt toast all day.
Noah Fant was running routes all over Jabril.
And Logan Thomas is equally the pass catcher that Noah Fant is.
Right.
And Logan Thomas had some good games against us last year, despite us still beating this, you know, the Washington football team.
Yeah.
I'm definitely nervous about that. And then, you know, even though we weren't technically exposed in the running game, you know, I liked how Denver never got away from the run. They always made it a price, and the Giants were able to stop it for the most part, except for that 70-yarder. But at the end of the day, they were tired. We didn't set the edge, and he was gone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but to me, it's just that's my biggest praise. They never gave up on the run, and they still emphasized it enough where you had to pay attention to it. And I thought actually Javonte was the better running back out of the two until that.
Yeah, Javonte was definitely getting the tougher yard. I was definitely more fearful of Javonte than I was Melvin Gordon. Like he had, if you look at the stat line, it's very deceiving because obviously they had Melvin Gordon like 9.2 yards per carry, 11 carries, 101 yards. Like that's when you look at the numbers and you're like that's BS because obviously he had that 70-yarder when we were gassed out. But Javonte only had 3.2 yards per carry, and he looked a lot better than Melvin Gordon did. He was getting the tough yardage. He was getting the yards needed for the first down or get them closer to it so they could, you know, have a deep play downfield. I mean, Javonte was doing what needed to be done. I was very impressed with him.
Yeah. And I mean, I really don't understand why the Giants, it's just the biggest thing is I know we're young. even the guys that are considered experienced at the edge rusher position aren't really experienced. O'Shane, Lorenzo.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's what we're gonna have as a pass rush, we're gonna be exposed even more. Like, you need a pass rush. And yeah, it's great to manufacture, and some of the blitzes were getting home. Obviously, the biggest play in that game was Azeez Ojulari smacking Teddy Bridge upside the head.
Yeah, and I was getting a sack too. He got his first career sack. So
yeah. Other than that, I mean, a lot of people don't want to say it, and I don't know if you've said it, but Washington's a must-win. I know a lot of YouTubers don't want to use must-win second game of the season, but you do. A divisional game, away from home, in Washington, there's no excuse. Either the Giants win that game, or you're staring 0-3 in the face.
Yeah, I mean, I hope. I don't want to go as far as say it's a must win just because of the opponent that we face next week. I mean, I feel like the Falcons would be easier and we have 10 days to prepare for them. But you're right. I mean, it would be nice getting a win, going 1-1, and trying to capitalize on us being 500 at the moment and then going 2-1, hopefully. And obviously, I'm moving too fast because we don't even know if we're going to beat Washington. We don't even know if we're going to beat the Falcons. But I would like to say that those two should be wins and help us throughout the rest of this.
Well, I mean, the reality is if you don't get those wins, right now, looking how these teams are playing, if you lose to Washington and you beat Atlanta, you have Dallas, New Orleans, and the Rams. Three high-powered offenses compared to what your defense looked like against Denver. And a team that, let's face it, if we give up over 21 points, do you really trust us right now as we look on offense to go out there and put up over 21?
There's a stat I saw on Twitter. I gotta pull it up real quick. Not a crazy stat. It just says that since Jason Garrett's been with us, we've scored over 20 points. Only I don't know how many times it was. Over 20 points. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. No, 6 times. And then one of them was that 34-point game against his former team, Dallas. So 6 times. And oh god, that sucks. That really does suck.
And not only that, you go look at LBG had a stat today. Since 2016, at no point in the season have the Giants had a winning record after 2016. So 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020.
And I saw that, and I said it was the last in the NFL or something like that. So apparently we're the only team that that's weird. I can't believe that stat. Really?
Yeah, at no point in the season because we've started off bad in 2 of those seasons where we were 06 and 07 before we even got our first win.
Right.
I know 2. 2017, I think we started off 0-7 before we got our first win. And then was it last year we started off 0-6 before we got our first win? Or the year before?
Whenever we faced the Washington football team, so I think
I think last year we were 0-6 before we got our first win.
I think it was the 4th or 5th week we faced Washington.
Yeah, but I mean we were either way pretty bad. So, I mean, starting off in the season, I mean right now in the way I've been saying it. Well, I mean, Azeez in his limited snaps was okay. I'm not going to disagree with that comment.
Right.
I don't know about you, what you saw from Azeez.
I thought he looked good. I mean, I didn't really barely notice them until he had a couple of plays. I mean, none of the pass rushers were getting there. Besides, it frustrates me so much that our fastest edge rusher, our fastest pass rushers are younger guys that aren't really experienced, so they're obviously still developing. I hate the fact that Austin Johnson is the guy to run down run down the opposing quarterback on a rollout. Why? Why is Austin Johnson probably the slowest player on that defense?
Oh, Danny Shelton, come on.
Yeah, but if it's either Austin Johnson or Danny Shelton, like they rotate. Why is our nose tackle the guy? Where the hell was Leonard Williams? There were so many times where I saw Austin Johnson get out and make a play on the running back, make a play on try to make a play on Teddy Bridgewater, but wasn't fast enough. That's the problem on this team as well, is having fast pass rushers, because our best pass rushers are slow as hell. Leonard Williams, I love Leonard Williams. He's slow. We don't have anybody to chase the quarterback down, and we're allowing them to move around in the pocket, have all the time in the world, and throw dimes to a secondary that's gassed out. You can't. Janoris Jenkins, I don't like Janoris Jenkins of how he left this team, but he said it best. You can't, you only have a certain amount of time as a defender, as a pass defender, to make, to hold down a receiver, to cover them. You need help from that pass rush. Can't be just all the secondary all the time. You got it. That pass rush is there to force the quarterback to make mistakes, and they don't do it.
And the other thing is, I want to point out Austin Johnson, former Penn State Nittany Lion. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're right, dude. You're right. I mean, the Nittany Lions are going off. And authentic facts, no furious pass rushers. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have guys fast enough to contain. Like how many times? Like, we could be playing contain. Like, Lorenzo is a good contain guy, or I don't know, O'Shane. Like, they're all right.
O'Shane's not a good contain guy. We saw that.
But
he's not a good contain guy.
Yeah, but those are our best edge rushers right now, and they're just not developed right now. And it's crazy because they're going into their third year and fourth year.
Yeah.
And they're still not developed. Like, when are we going to get them to finally develop?
Well,
we need to contain the edge.
Injuries set him back. I think he was going to have a good season last year, and then injuries obviously set him back.
Right, but where was he when Teddy Bridgewater was getting out the pocket constantly? You know what I'm saying? It's like, absolutely. Why am I seeing Austin Johnson chase this guy down? There's no way in hell he's getting Teddy Bridgewater.
He almost did.
A couple of times. Yeah, a couple of times. Dexter Lawrence was also being held a lot. Dexter Lawrence was being held, like, I want to say a third of the time he was rushing the passer. But yeah, man, it's frustrating. The defense definitely frustrated me more so. I didn't think Daniel Jones had a bad game, in my honest opinion. I know he padded the stats. I don't think he had a terrible game. I'm not defending him because that fumble was terrible. I just don't think he made, besides the end of the game when he got desperate and he started being a little gunslinger, he started putting the ball in harm's way. I thought through 3/4 of the game, he kept the ball pretty safe, and as far as keeping it away from being intercepted. I didn't think he made any dangerous throws through 3/4 of the game.
No, there's a couple times where he red striped. The one to Kyle Rudolph is noticeable. The terrible play call after we caught the fumble to what's his face, our fullback, can't think of his name right now.
Eli Penny?
Yeah, Eli Penny out in the flat. That was another terrible pass, but that was all wrapped up. I mean, the one where Kenny Galladay bailed him out on, the one big,
Oh, yeah, we came back to the ball, yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple bad passes, and you could argue some of those passes could have been intercepted. And, you're really not allowed to watch all 22 film anymore. Thanks, NFL Network.
I think it's coming back. I hope it's coming back. But I think they do that every year. During preseason, they get rid of all 22, but...
Yeah, but, I'm curious to see what other options were on those plays, if he missed something. Because, I'm at the end of the day, I'm not going to defend him, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to harp on it either. But you need to see improvement. Now, what I did see improvement from, and people can argue me in the chat all they want, I thought the pre-snap reads were okay. I think he was calling out the protections a little bit better. I thought he was changing the play a little bit better. I thought his pre-snap reads were okay. I think that's part of the reason why the offensive line blocked better.
Yeah, they got to get chemistry.
So I think that was better. Gibble, I don't know how much longer you want me to go with you, but at the end of the day, it is a call-in show. So if there's
it's all good. It's all good. I got a guest in here that I'm anxious to bring on here. He's smiling right now. All right, so I'll wrap this up right now. So I appreciate you coming on, OGR, man. It was good seeing you again, bud. Good seeing you again. Definitely call back on. Call back on.
I will, definitely.
Yeah. I'm trying to do this every week, man. But appreciate you, man.
Not a problem. Bye-bye.
Thank you. All right, let me adjust the chat real quick. I haven't been able to talk to the chat. Me and OGR are talking the whole time. Let me see real quick. I predicted we could start 2-5, as easy as 5-2, but needed to see us play. After seeing it, let's be real, it's 2-5. I mean, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer right now. But I mean, we don't like to lose week 1. Let's just put it that way. All right, guys. So you guys want to be entertained? Let's be entertained. We got a guest on the show here. I think you guys would appreciate here, and that's Cop Pizzle. What's going on, Cop Pizzle?
Kid Blue.
What's up, man?
First time listener, long time caller. What's up, my man?
What up? How you feeling?
So a couple things.
So
first of all, I noticed today that you liked a couple of Mike Too Nice's tweets against me, which that can't be right. Nobody should be pro Mike Too Nice. I mean, that's just ridiculous that anybody would be pro Mike Too Nice who's like anti-Giants winning so his narrative can be right. I mean, you can't be pro Mike Too Nice. I mean, yeah, you could listen to him, but you can't be pro Mike Too Nice.
Did I? I mean, I didn't say I was or
I didn't see you liking any Pizzle's tweets.
I thought his were funny. That's all.
His sucks, as always. I don't see him also supporting his channel. Do you? I don't see it either. Listen, this is what I want to ask you about because,
all right,
you know, I'm just curious. You know, it's funny because the Giants lose. Obviously, I'm not happy. You're obviously not happy. And, you know, no Giants fan out there is probably happy right now. But it's so funny that there's a lot of content creators, right, that on a day like today, playing Monday morning quarterback, they are pushing their narrative of what went wrong, of why the Giants lost. So, for example, today, I don't even know what to call him. Basement Bobby down there in Florida. He's down there just pushing the Nate Solder narrative. Oh, he sucks. He stinks. Which, by the way, Nate Solder made a great block that led to a touchdown to Sterling Shepard. But nobody wants to show that clip, Kid Blue. It's nuts to me. They only want to show one or two bad plays. And then you've got all the anti-Jason Garrett people out here, which is funny to me because I think the coordinator that absolutely sucked yesterday was Patrick Graham. I think Patrick Graham's defense was terrible. It was way worse than Jason Garrett. And I know that Jason Garrett realistically only scored 7 points yesterday. I don't count that last Daniel Jones TD. But let's, you know, here's the thing, though. I actually do think the Broncos might actually have like a damn good defense. Like they could be arguably for sure top 10. When you look at the studs like Von Miller, Bradley Chubb, their secondary is lights out. That's no excuse. But like their defense is really damn good. Like I think we're going to look back at this game and realize like, shit, we played a really good defense. But it's crazy to me also that nobody wants to point the finger at Joe Judge. You're the team.
I agree with you. I was very vocal.
Well, you should be liking some of my damn tweets then. Like, I don't understand. God. Like, why is it that these content creators, and you don't have to say no names, Kid Blue. I understand you don't want to burn no bridges. You got to make your connections and you got to mingle and you got to network and all that bullshit. You know, you got to do all that. But like, my thing is, why is it that we are pushing a narrative and agenda as to why the Giants fell? Like, why can't we call out the names that really deserve fault?
I don't think anybody's pushing narrative. I think
they're pushing narrative.
I think people are misinformed and don't really do enough research, and they honestly think the problem is what they hear and what they see, but they don't do enough research into what is truly the problem. And I think that's fine because it causes speculation, and then people know the truth from there.
Okay,
but
you said, and I agree with this, that I think the offensive line played pretty good yesterday. But what's funny is the booger eaters and the geeks are saying, yeah, the offensive line played good, but Nate Solder didn't. What? Like, what? They all played good. They all played the same. Like,
I think the only reason why they say that, and I'll be the first to say, I thought Nate Solder played better. I played pretty decently. I think he gave up 2 sacks. He gave up 2 sacks, but I don't count the last sack because that was garbage time. It was crap. I don't like the whole fourth quarter. I really don't care about. But he did give up that sack where he was beat inside by Von Miller. He gave that's bad. And that happens, right? That happens. So I would not put this on Nate Solder. I would not put this on the offensive line at all. So we're in agreement when it comes to that.
Again, you're talking about a guy, and I'm not making excuses here, but I don't know how a couch potato can sit here and say the guy literally took all of 2020 off, didn't play a lick of football in 2020, okay? Is in a new position from left tackle to right tackle. Geeks, that ain't easy to do at the pro level, okay? I don't care what anybody says. It's not just a plug-and-play thing. And on top of it, you're going against one of the best pass rushers in the National Football League in Von Miller, who at one time during the Broncos Super Bowl run was considered the man in the league. So it's like, hello, like I'm not making excuses for Nate Solder, but like, come on, man, like cut the dude some slack in his first game back in over 12 months. How many ever months it's been going against Von Miller? Like, I think he held his own. I think he absolutely held his own for the totality of the whole game.
I agree with you. I do. I agree with you. So
we're somebody needs to be saying something to Basement Bobby, because that geek down there, he ain't saying the truth.
I'll be completely honest.
It's not reality.
I'll be completely honest with you. I'll be completely honest. I did not see. I wasn't on Twitter long enough to see Bobby talk about it.
You was on there long enough to be liking some of my too nice tweets, and that ain't right.
And that ain't right. And you know, the funny part is that was one of the first things I saw on Twitter when I logged in. So that's the reason. You should have done. You sounds like you should have done some research yourself. That's what it sounds like to me. And on top of it, like, I don't see any Patrick Graham hate today. I don't see none. I see it all Jason Garrett. And it's like, Did you listen in earlier? Did you listen in earlier? I was talking Patrick Graham earlier.
You were talking, are you saying bad things or up?
Yeah, bad things. I was talking about how we should.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about these other content creators, Kid Blue, because like here's the thing. It's almost like they want a great offense. Like, to me, if the Giants have to win games where they have to score 25, look, I would love if the Giants could score 25 to 30 points, right? I'd love that. That'd be great. That'd make things easier. But at the end of the day, if your defense can't stop a nosebleed, it don't matter how many damn points we're going to score in the long run. It's all about defense anyways. So, like,
at that point, like last year, right, 2020, the defense was giving us all the opportunities to win this game, and the offense wasn't capitalizing. Like, at that point, what do you do?
But we didn't have weapons. We didn't have weapons last year. Like, that's like, I don't. Like, I know a lot of content creators love to mesh 2020 and 20. Like, I give it a blank canvas. Like, I look at 2021 completely different. And on top of it, we have no running game right now. Like, that's another thing. I wanted to go to the defense, but just because I saw OGR's super chat, like, we have no running game. And it's thanks to Saquon not being healthy. Like, I don't blame him, but at the end of the day, like, we have no running game. So if you're Von Miller or you're Bradley Chubb, you don't have to respect the run. Of course you can beat the tackles. You already know what's about to happen. Like, I'm just amazed. How do you only watch football and you don't know football?
Thank you, OGR, for the $5 super chat. Pizzle was right about pass blocking, but the run blocking was not good enough. I'd agree with both of you here. And say there was no running game. The running backs did little to no help for the offensive line. The offensive line also didn't really do much of favors either. Didn't really open up any holes. Saquon usually is the guy to make his own holes and make do with what he has, but he looked terrified. He looked mentally unprepared.
Why is Patrick Graham and Joe Judge getting a pass today? I don't understand that. Why are we continuously attacking people who don't deserve all the blame? I don't understand it. Like, Nate Solder, in my opinion, did a damn good job holding his own for somebody that hasn't been played football in probably like 18 months. Like, good for you, dude. Thanks for the effort. I appreciate you. Jason Garrett, like, yeah, the offense needs to be better, but Jason Garrett also doesn't need his damn quarterback to fumble when somebody blows on him. That's nuts to me. And like, Patrick, like, honestly, tell me that defense didn't look any good yesterday.
It definitely did not give me any confidence going into at all.
Like, to me, like, the defensive unit was, in my opinion, far worse than the offensive unit, because we had chances to score on multiple drives, but stupid stuff led us to not scoring on those drives. So I understand that we got 13 and one of them was garbage, but like, we could have scored more points if situations would have panned out. For example, the Daniel Jones fumble, like, we should get points on the board right there. Like, we should. The defense just never gave us any quality field position, in my opinion. Like, It just never did. And Broncos are converting third down like every damn time.
I think what people are frustrated about is, like, I know you don't want to mix in last year, right? We don't want to talk about 2020 because there's different weapons, different team. But one thing I will say is that last year there wasn't really a point in time, besides the 49ers game where you got blown out. Last year there wasn't really much of a time where the defense was a constant liability. I think they really can, and I'm not speaking for the people right now, but I don't know what they think. I think they just feel like this defense, it was just a fluke and it was just a one-time thing, and maybe they'll move on and see where it goes. They're honestly tired of Jason Garrett, and the fact that, like you said, 7 points only really count. The fact that we have Kadarius Toney, Kenny Golladay, Kyle Rudolph, all these new additions, honestly, I think a better offensive line than last year, that we still only put 7 points on the board. Like, despite the defense doing terribly, if the defense is doing terribly, why can't we participate in a shootout? Maybe, both these defense are pretty even. Both the defenses are pretty even. I honestly think the Denver Broncos defense and the Giants defense were pretty evenly comparable, but
on paper,
right.
Sure.
But the execution was not there. So at that point, if the Broncos were putting up points, we got to put up points. That's why I blame the offense as well, is because we've seen what this defense is capable of. But the offense, we never seen anything from the offense. The offense doesn't show us anything.
The offense needs to stay on the field, and get some time possession to help the defense. Right.
We had 11 minutes through the first half.
But that also goes back to the fact that you can't run the ball.
I agree.
Obviously, if you throw if you throw and you incomplete, it stops the clock. You're not able to keep the clock moving, and you're going to give Denver more opportunities. But we have no running game. I thought Booker was terrible yesterday. Which, by the way, there was another thing that the geeks were doing on Twitter, showing this bad Nate Solder play, when the reality was it was Booker's fault that the situation happened the way it is.
Yeah, I said that too. It was Booker. Booker
ran into Solder.
Booker tried to run a chip block and just went right to Solder.
Well, he was responsible for number 48, who was coming. Because if you look, there was two Broncos defenders rushing there. One of them's Von Miller. Solder says, "Hell, I got to cover Von because he's clearly a stud." And Booker's supposed to go in the inside and hit that, but he runs into Solder. And then all of the geeks with the narrative is like, "Oh, look how bad Nate Solder is," and it's not even right. It's not even correct. And so, on top of this, what the thing that I'm frustrated with is there's a lot of hate on Jason Garrett too about play calling, about certain plays, right? Which I feel like is a little silly too, because if you're only going to demand that the offensive coordinator comes up with great plays, then what's the purpose of going out? Under that logic, you could just run out any receiver you wanted to, and they would make plays, because the offensive coordinator is such a genius. He always finds a way to get receivers open, right?
But that's what this year was for. We have all these players that can do different things, and we're still seeing the same offense.
Where I'm going with this is the players have to make plays too. They have to make plays.
Right, Kenny Golladay wasn't targeted only but one time.
Well, this is the thing. Well, this is where. So there's a 4th and 6 play in the Broncos goal line, where the score at the time, I believe, was 20-7. So we're late. This is 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And I think Golladay runs a dig route. You can't see it on camera, but I think that's what he ran. And Jones throws it to him. It's over by the pylon, and it gets tipped by the Broncos defender, and it's incomplete, right? Now, you could say that the play call is bad, right? Because all the receivers basically run to the goal line. They just run to the goal line and turn around, right? Mm-hmm. But to me, I think everybody's a decoy. Everybody's a decoy on the play, and this play just comes down to Daniel, Kenny Golladay, and whoever's covering Kenny Golladay. Okay. This is like basketball, one-on-one. I'm going down in the post to my big man. He's got to make a play, right? At the end of the day, Daniel's got to make the throw. Kenny's got to go up and be the bigger man and make the damn catch, right? You look at the play and it's like, well, this sucks. Blame the coach. I can't blame the new guy, Kenny Golladay, but he didn't make the play that we paid for. That's what you know what I'm saying. There has to be some blame, and I blame the quarterback too who's supposed to be a franchise quarterback. I blame him for not maybe giving him a better ball. But at the same time, one-on-one, you have to beat your man. You have to.
I agree, but look at the mismanagement that I can't really put Joe Judge in blame for the mismanagement of the offense, but Jason Garrett, I would have to. You drafted Kadarius Toney in the first round. We all had our reserve thoughts about Kadarius Toney. We don't know what they were going to do with him. But one thing I will tell you is that you don't give your first round pick 2 receptions and two opportunities to catch the ball throughout the first week of the season. I don't care if he's coming back from COVID or not.
Let me stop you right there. I know this is your channel. And I don't mean to take it over, but I mean, he hasn't hardly done anything in the offseason.
But that's the point.
But if he hasn't done anything, how do you have any really plays for him? Like they tried to get him going, and there was no juice.
I understand that. But you spent like you said, you paid the big bucks for Kenny Galladay to go make a play. We spent a first round pick on this guy, designed something for him other than jet sweeps. If you wanted a guy for jet sweeps, you draft a guy like that in the 6th round.
I know, but there's no running game. Okay, and I'm not saying that that's a great play call, right? I'm not saying, but at this point, because we have no running game with Barkley, it's almost like you have to use Toney out of the backfield because there's nothing else there's no one else to hand off to.
I agree with you. You gave him 2 opportunities. They only gave him 2 opportunities, though.
Well, but see, and then here's the thing. Keith, and this is the thing. I say this stuff all the time because again, content creators, I don't know if there's egos. I don't know if they think they know more than what you don't really have all of the pieces to the puzzle to understand, number one, how healthy is Toney? We don't know how healthy he is. Like he may have something going on that the Giants aren't just going to come out and say, oh, he's got this, because obviously the other team can attack that, right? You're not going to unveil all the cards. We don't know how well Toney actually knows the playbook. Who knows? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
then we could argue the same thing with Kenny Galladay. He just got here. He was dealing with injury all year.
But Kenny Galladay, you would hope that he's a professional because he's been in the league for several years, and Toney is still technically a young cat that just got here. Like I didn't personally, I didn't have high hopes for Toney this year. Like to me, if he gains any yardage in any game, it's a bonus to me. I still look at the draft as like, to me, the best thing we got out of that situation was a first-round draft pick for next year. It's not that I don't like Toney.
I agree.
It's just I really like the draft pick more, and I'm not even a draft guy.
Yeah, I agree because I try my best to put high hopes for Toney because honestly, I didn't know how we we're going to use him. And honestly, I'll be completely honest with everybody. And I said this before when we drafted him. If we're going to use him the way like Florida used him or whatever, I don't think it's going to work like that in the NFL. He's not a prototypical wide receiver. He's not a guy that's going to get major yardage, touchdown, catch a bunch of touchdowns or whatever the case may be. He really just looks like an overhyped, like Tavon Austin type guy, gadget guy. The only reason why I had high hopes for them this season is because they drafted him with the first round pick. I thought that they were going to, use him more productively and design more plays with him. And Joe Judge, this is why I'm getting kind of frustrated with Joe Judge as well. He gives us all the sugar we want in those press conferences. He makes us addicted to listening to him talk. He talked about Kadarius Toney getting a significant role in this game, and we saw 2 receptions for this guy. And not even he's a wide receiver. He wears the number 89, and he didn't even run a route. He didn't even run a route and was not even targeted beyond the line of scrimmage. He was targeted on 2 jet sweeps.
Well,
why?
I mean, in fairness, I really believe that you can't judge Toney until like mid-season. Like
I agree too.
You got to. I mean,
how can we judge him if he's not giving opportunities? Like Jason Garrett,
I think he's going to get opportunities. But what I'm saying is, you can't. I mean, he just got here and he hasn't. He didn't really have. Like, I'm not giving him any excuses, but he's been. It's almost like there's been with his cleats, COVID, personal issues, health. I mean, there's been a stack of reasons why he's just not there. And to me, he's not even ready for this season to even begin. I don't know for sure, but I would have to think that may be the case. I don't think he's ready, And so, Galladay, I agree too, where it's he had the hamstring thing in the preseason, didn't get hardly any reps. How can you bank on him? so like that's why like I look at this and like, yeah, it is just one game. Like I'm not ready to jump off the ship. I'm just baffled that on a day like today, we continue to point the finger at the guys who have been hot topics the last several years and just blame them as if they're the problem. It's like going back to blaming Eli Manning, where it's like we just keep the same people just blame the same guys when why don't we look at some of these other like issues, right? Like nobody, when Eli was struggling, for example, no one ever looked at the offensive line. They just said, well, Eli ain't got it no more. And so fast forward to 2021, we just got guys now, instead of saying like, wait a minute, the defense didn't play very good yesterday. Martinez wasn't tackling well. James Bradbury was giving up catches. What's the Broncos receiver?
Hamler, Patrick.
Patrick. No, he was running down the middle of the field wide open. Like everybody's like, oh, well, why'd that happen? I don't know, because I said I didn't like Adoree Jackson. I don't think he's all that good. Or Adoree Jackson's given up what looked to be a wide open TD, and thank goodness it didn't happen. But to me, I don't understand why we can't point the fingers at the real issues. And I still feel like this all goes down to coaches. Like yesterday to me was all about coaches. If you want to blame Jason Garrett, that's fine, but give it to Graham and give it to Joe Judge too, the same way. Same way. And Daniel Jones can't fucking fumble. Like he just can't. Like you can't.
Yeah, I'm done with that.
Like you can't. Like I'm okay with interceptions. Like I'm completely like I don't want 5 of them in a game, but like sometimes you're going to throw picks. Like the other team's going to make a play. Like I'm cool with that, but like I can't have fumbles. Like just don't get hit at all. Period.
Right.
And so I don't know, man. I just why didn't you like any of my tweets? I feel like I was right.
I mean, he got you there.
He didn't get me.
He got you.
He didn't get me. He showed
but
he's such a booger eater.
But
such a loser.
Cop. You were talking about them in one play, and then you showed them one play. But
because I thought it was funny. It was funny. You can't sit there. Look,
you bamboozled yourself, man.
This is all I'm saying. I can't. Like I hate Evan Ingram, right?
Right.
I don't like Evan Ingram. Okay. Evan Ingram, I know at times is going to make plays. Like he's going to make. Like that's what he does. The reason I hate him is because all he does is tease Giant fans. That's all he does. Like he just teases. He's like the chick that says, "I'll go out with you, but it ain't going to be today." Like stop playing games. Mm-hmm. Like it's either yes or no. And so the fact is like if I could go to every single game and find a clip that Evan Ingram's doing something dumb or stupid. Right. But that just posting that doesn't make me right on if he's bad or not. Like you have to see the totality of the whole season. So my point is when you come at me because look, I said this is and maybe I put my foot in my mouth, but I said that Nate Solder had every chance to win Comeback Player of the Year for the Giants. Okay.
For the Giants.
That doesn't mean he's going to win Comeback Player of the Year in the NFL. That means for the team. There's no such award that even exists. We don't even hand out trophies like that. That's a fictitious trophy that I literally just made up. Okay. So the fact is I do feel like Nate Solder, if he plays up to a good standard, he has a chance to be a very valuable piece for us for a comeback player. Like list the players who you think would be comeback player. Saquon Barkley.
I hope Saquon.
Okay. Nate Solder would have to be one of them, like anybody else.
Right.
Lorenzo Carter.
O'Shane. Well, I mean, I wouldn't consider him a candidate, but O'Shane, he went out for the year.
Okay, let's let maybe Xavier McKinney, even though he didn't get to play last year.
Oh yeah. I guess. Yeah, I don't know if I would consider him a candidate because he barely played. So
anybody else?
I don't know. I don't know anybody else.
No. Okay, I feel like Solder can win that competition because number one, I don't think Saquon is going to be Saquon until like week 6 or 7, if at best. If that. Okay, I just feel like that. Lorenzo Carter, like he's borderline getting to Evan Ingram status with me. Like either you perform now or I'm done with you. Like, and I'm not. I didn't love yesterday. Didn't love it. And again, like I love Xavier McKinney, so like I don't. But so the fact is, if Solder just comes in and just plays, which by the way, as I showed video on Twitter, if it wasn't for him making a nice block, we don't score a touchdown yesterday. So put one on the board for Pizzle on that one. So the fact is Soder should easily win that award, in my opinion, my fictitious award. Your boy Mike Too Nice came to me, took one bad play Soder did, which was the Von Miller inside rush play, which I didn't know we were shitting on Von Miller. Like I didn't know he was bad. Like I wish somebody had told me. So he makes this one play, and then your boy tries to dub some audio of me saying this. So obviously, like I had to go find me a good play and basically show that he's an idiot.
Well, you did your research. You did your research, and I'm proud.
Yeah, but that's all I'm saying though, Kid Blue. It's like why is it that there are so many content creators that are Giant fans? You've been on here for a long time. I've been on here for a long time. Why is it that, and I understand we've been losing, but they're so negative and they love to just keep pushing this narrative that this certain piece right here is the reason why we're bad.
I think it's people misinformed.
Like
honestly.
Nate Soder's contract did suck. I'll admit that. Like Dave Gettleman messed that up. I admit that.
And that's why, and that's the
I
only
admit
reason
that.
why, that's the only reason why I didn't want him on a team if he was going to keep that contract. The fact that he took that pay cut, I was extremely ecstatic to have him, to keep him on the team.
What is he? Look, the dude, this is what I don't understand. Okay. And again, I don't know what your personal feelings are about Nate Soder, but this is what I'm saying. This is what I don't get. As a Giants fan, why would you not appreciate Nate Soder? The dude,
I appreciate him.
Hold on. The dude tried to play in a year where his kid was sick, right? I mean, like that's like, who knows what kind of hell that's like? But he tried to give his effort, right? He then sets out a year, which whatever. He comes back, is willing to play, wants to play for this team, is willing to take a pay cut, is willing to change positions, and is willing to go up against and look stupid against one of the best pass rushers, all for the good sake of the team. Why would you not root for that? Why would you root against that? Somebody that actually wants to be a part of this organization, wants to be a part of this team. I think, Kid Blue, not for nothing, if they told you, hey, Kid Blue, we need you to be on the special teams unit kickoff return next Sunday. We got a jersey. We'll give you whatever number that's available. Are you signing up for that, Kid Blue? That said, we'll pay you. We'll pay you $20. Are you gonna take that or not?
I mean, I would, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But the fact is, because you want to be there. Is it right or wrong?
Right, I agree.
Right,
I agree.
You're probably gonna get killed. Like I would get killed. Like absolutely. Like I turn around, somebody jack my jaw. Absolutely. But the point is, and the reason I'm saying this is like, why would you not want to root that guy on?
I don't know. You have to ask them.
But that's what. But why? As a Giant, like, why would you not? That's all I'm asking. Which, by the way, your numbers have gone up since I've joined, so you can thank me later. The fact is,
no, dude,
I'm just being honest. Like,
my
look,
peak,
why would you
at
not?
31.
Why would you not want to root for that guy? That's all. I just want to know that answer. Why would you not want to root for that guy? The guy wants to be here. How many times have you seen Giant players throughout your lifetime that didn't want to be on the Giants, that were on the Giants? There's been some.
There's been some.
There's been some.
Janoris Jenkins won.
Yeah, which, by the way, he got toasted yesterday in his game, which I saw. Nevertheless, I don't want, the point is the dude wants to be here. He wants to put it on the line. He wants to help the Giants win. Why would you not? Why would you go to Twitter the very next day and push your BS narrative? That's all that. But do you understand that?
I understand where you're coming from.
There you go. That's why I can't stand some of these content creators. So you be hating on Pizzle because you think I'm just jealous, but that's the reality of the situation. It's like, why? How can you not appreciate a guy like Nate Soder? I know he's not as good as he probably should be based on the contract that he originally signed for.
Right.
But he ate his crow on that, took his pay cut, and changed his position. Like.
And see, you see what happens when we have a civil discussion, right? this is what happens. We come to understandings. You understand what I'm
Man,
saying?
click this Bark Nasty. Read that real fast. Read that real fast because I'll read that real fast.
Bark Nasty says, we're not fans of players. We're fans of the New York Giants. If they suck, bye. I don't care if you want to be here. Man, we're so in the mud.
Okay.
I'll respond. I'll let you go off. I'll respond to that first. Bark Nasty, I agree with you in certain cases. I know in this case we're talking about Nate Solder, so I can't agree with you there because he didn't suck against Denver. I don't think he sucked against Denver.
No,
but I can agree with you. Any player that wants to be there and they suck, I understand you. They should not be there. I don't think he sucked, and I honestly think Nate Solder gave us a better chance than Matt Peart. And everybody knows I love Matt Peart. Everybody knows I love Matt Peart. Since we drafted the dude, I was watching him out of UConn. Okay, and I'm willing to say that Nate Solder gave us a better chance of winning that game than Matt Peart because he's just not developing. So let me quickly get the super chat. Ben. Denver had no respect for the defense. They treated y'all like Burger King. If they did it their way, and you're welcome for the Bears loss, by the way. Benjamin Nin. Why
don't you do it your way and stick to your damn Rams? Like, what are you talking about? Like, shut up.
Yeah, I didn't. Thanks, man. I appreciate the $5 super chat, man. But yeah, they didn't respect our defense, and apparently we didn't respect their offense because we let them go off. So.
I want to answer the Barnett. I'm not a Nate Solder fan club member. I'm a Giants fan. Okay. The point I'm making is Solder gives us the best. Like, this is another thing, like, I don't understand because this is a deeper topic. Like, what were if Solder didn't come back? Like, this is the thing. Like, again, use your damn brains. Like, God gave you a brain for a reason. Like, use it. What were your options if Nate Solder didn't come back?
I mean, we would have to go in with Matt Peart, but I'll tell you what.
But that would have been bad.
But
yesterday.
I would have much rather go into it with Matt Peart than Nate Solder's huge contract. Like I said, if we had a small, like, 'cause think of it, if we still had Nate Solder's huge contract, one of the big free agents that we have are not going to be there. You know what I'm saying?
My point is, and this is why your boy Mike Too Nice is stupid, because you can sit on the sidelines and talk about how that needs to be fixed or that sucks. That's fine. We're talking about professional football. How do you replace that position? What do you replace it with? Okay. If I have a car and I think my car sucks, Kid Blue, and I just say, I don't want this car no more, it sucks, and I just sell it. Am I going to go out and buy another car, Kid Blue? Because if I just sell it and I don't buy another car, then I don't have a car. So the point is having a car is better than not having a car. Does that make sense?
I get it, but you also have to manage your money the right way. You can't have a highly paid right tackle that hasn't played in a year rather than having, say, a Kenny Golladay who pay big bucks
what
for.
Were your options? What were your options then to fix that?
To fix what?
So, like, if you knew if you brought Solder, so let's assume that Solder was in play, which, by the way, the offensive line wasn't even a weakness yesterday.
No, it wasn't. It was the only bright spot of the damn game.
Yeah.
And besides
that's what's frustrating to me. That's going back to Bark Nasty, is like, as a Giants fan, I watch the game without any bias, without any narrative. I look at the game and I'm saying, damn, this offensive line is trying to help us win this game. Like, they're giving us a chance. They're giving Daniel a chance. And the next day, Monday morning, you have content creators that are attacking a piece of the offensive line when they're not to blame. That's the whole point of the discussion, is why are you not pointing the finger at the people that should be getting blamed? Why is it that you can't let go your hate for Jason Garrett? Why is it that you can't let go your hate for Nate Solder's contract? That is the point. It's like you're like a woman or some chick who can't let go the fact that your man didn't take out the trash last week. Okay. He forgot one day. He took it out the next day. Like, it got done. Like, what does it matter? This is what I'm saying, Kid Blue. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Why is it that you point the finger at the same people? Is that what's going to happen every time we lose? Is we're just going to blame Jason Garrett for every loss?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If the Giants lose games, let's say, okay, the game was 27-13, right? If we keep losing games 21, 20 to 10 and 7, I'm not blaming the defense. I'm blaming the offense.
Okay, but if the defense gives up 27 points,
27, yeah, that was the difference. That one touchdown was the difference. I'm telling you right now, if it was 20 points, if we only gave up 20 points, then it will be all Jason Garrett. Because at that point, if you're only giving up 20 points, you should be winning the game.
yeah, I mean, theoretically, if your team scores 21 points, you should technically have a chance to win that game.
Right. And that's
like
what
the offense.
I think that's what they wanting. Like, I don't even think the fact that, listen, it happens when it comes to like other offenses scoring points. Like, it's very rare, especially with our defense. We don't give up a lot of points. We gave up a lot of points this time, but it's been a constant thing with the New York Giants only getting 7, 10, 13 points, 16 points.
And I don't want to take up all your time because I know people are knocking down the door to get in here and talk to you also. But just hear me out one more time. Would you argue with me that, or would you agree with me that the first half, it felt like we're in that game? That's a 50-50 game. When they went into halftime, didn't you feel like at that point we had a chance to win that game?
I'll be honest with you. 40 seconds left, I was not confident because we gave up that touchdown late before the half.
But is it only because we were losing?
No, it was because we have this thing of just getting choking when it comes to the end of the half or when it comes to the end of the game. So once I saw us give up that touchdown and the whole game, they only got a couple yards on us, and they make up all those yards in that one drive and score a touchdown with 40 seconds left in the first half. Yeah, I was not invested as much as I was because I knew where it was going.
Well, I'll say this, I don't like to put 2020 with 2021, but a lot of games in 2020 we started poor, and then I often said on my channel how the Giants would reel me back in later in the game, and they would make it super close, and then somehow we would find a way not to catch up and get and win the game, or whatever. So the reality was the fact I thought because we were close score-wise and the way that we played second half in last season's games, I felt like we would do well, right? Right. And I contributed last season to the fact that I thought that that's a really good Joe Judge team, well-conditioned, made the right adjustments, did everything. This game, it's as if we were worse in the second half than we were the first half. And to me, I contribute that to coaches because coaches are supposed to make halftime adjustments, and your team in the second half is supposed to go off those. Either they made no adjustments or they made the wrong adjustments.
I don't think they made any adjustments. I agree with you. We're still playing soft zone on defense. We're still allowing the middle to be open on defense. Nobody was helping out in the middle of the field. Blake Martinez was by himself covering the whole field in the middle. And we were still having offensive problems running the ball. So I put that adjustments.
Look, I put some of that on players, but I put some of it on coaches.
Well, Joe Judge has to take the blame. He's the head coach.
Kim Blue, you literally just answered. That's all I'm saying today is then why the hell are we blaming Nate Solder? Why the hell are we blaming Jason Garrett? But I get the Daniel Jones blame. I get that because that.
Hey, listen, you're on the wrong stream then, man.
I think I'm on the right stream because you ain't liking none of my tweets. Daniel Jones, it absolutely deserves some hate because, you can't fumble. You just can't.
All in all, it's a big team loss. Big team. I think the only, and I don't think any of these players should walk with their head up high because it's a team. You're a team. No. You lose together. But the only players that I think are safe, I think, is the offensive line. Although the run blocking wasn't great, they allowed their pass blocking was a lot better than other weeks. And Sterling Shepard. Sterling Shepard was freaking on the money. I mean, he caught everything. I have to give my hat to the offensive line and Sterling Shepard. I don't think anybody else played up to par.
Which by the way, Sterling Shepard, I love Sterling Shepard.
Yeah.
But yesterday he's got a little Evan Ingram in him in that he will tease you. He'll play a really good game like he did yesterday, and then he'll disappear. He may disappear Thursday. Yeah. That's the thing. But I'll close this out in saying that all I'm saying is I know that if the Giants continue to play like this, a guy like Jason Garrett's going to get fired, right? or he's going to get let go. And a guy like Nate Solder will be eventually moved on because he's a veteran. But if the Giants have a poor season and they play like this, like Joe Judge has to be on the hot seat. Like he has to be considered to be gone. Like maybe not after. Like I know he's coming back next year because Giant fans can't stop drooling over him and his hoodie. But like the reality is that if like you have to put some blame on him if that's the way this goes. Like if you're going to move on for Dave Gettleman and Daniel Jones, and
you have to move on from Joe Judge. Right?
You have to move on from Joe Judge.
And
like
I wouldn't say Joe Judge is on the hot seat by himself. I think if we get rid of Dave Gettleman, I think and like I really don't want that to happen because I like Dave Gettleman. I'm a big me and you are very similar. We love Dave Gettleman. All right,
but you ain't liking the tweets.
I've commented on a couple of your tweets saying I agree with you, all right? And then you put some smart ass gifts in there. Don't play with me, all right? Yeah, I see you. Yeah. So I agree with you sometimes. You just don't want to be humble about it. I know. I feel you. But listen, and you got me off my damn train of thought right now, man.
No, you like Dave Gettleman.
Like, it's okay. Okay.
Which, by the way, you're in the minority on that.
I love Dave Gettleman. I'm Dave Gettleman apologist. It's on my freaking Twitter. But Mike
Too Nice don't like Dave Gettleman.
If he goes, Joe Judge is probably going to go. I don't think any.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That is. And again, I don't want anybody to go because if they're gone, it's because the Giants had a bad season, which goes back to whatever that geek's name was, Bart Nasty. Like if you are narrative driven by wanting to see some people fail or players fail, then that means the Giants as a team fails. And if the Giants as a team fails, we're not just going to let go the guys that the majority doesn't like. Like if Dave Gettleman has to go, Joe Judge has to go. And probably Daniel Jones has to go because Daniel Jones is literally the king of the Dave Gettleman ship. And if that ship sinks, then he's the captain of that ship. Excuse me, not the king. He's the captain of that ship. So if that boat sinks, then Daniel Jones has to sink with it. Like that's the thing. It's like they all need to go. There's no pieces that need to stay because one of the things that both Joe Judge and Dave Gettleman said in press conferences was that they get along and they're seeing eye to eye. And Dave can't be fired. And then Joe just says, well, him and I we just personality different. Like you can't do that. Like, and again, I don't want to see that to happen. Mm-hmm. But this honeymoon phase that we're in with Joe Judge has got to stop. Like that's got to stop. Like more pressure needs to be put on him, making this team better and pushing us forward.
I hope so. Like I said, I can't bear to watch his press conferences anymore. I really can't. I don't like the cookie cutter, answers he gives. I don't like the rah, the team, put the team on my back sort of thing.
But everybody likes him.
I know. I feel you. And you know what? That's what made me attracted to his hiring in the beginning. It was his press conferences. But when there's no fruit being shown on the field, no execution, I mean, that's all he is a talking head. So, I mean, we're in agreement with that one, man.
Yeah.
But
like Mike Too Nice, a talking head, like 100%. 100%. Okay. I'll let you get back to I didn't mean to take up so much of your time. I just had some really great points, as I always do. And I just wanted to say all those things and get them out and just wondering what the hell was going on. Why the hell you liking Mike Too Nice's tweets? But I can't get a like when I'm making better points. Like that don't make no sense.
Tell you what, next time I agree with you on your Twitter, don't put a smart ass comment and I'll
handle like just deal with it.
All right.
Like you may be small, but you're a huge Giants fan.
Right, exactly. It says it in the back.
Okay, thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you, Cop. Appreciate that. I was gonna get on to other callers, but it's okay because it's Cop Pizzo. We wanted to have a little heart-to-heart situation here, but I lost two callers, but they couldn't wait any longer. But guys, unless, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna wrap this up now. I was gonna open up for anybody else who wants to join in, but I really want to watch Eli and Peyton call a game, and everybody's talking about it, and I feel like I'm missing out. I gotta watch Eli and Peyton call that Monday night game, Ravens Raiders. So I gotta go see my quarterback. So thank you guys so much for joining in. This was fun. This is a new show I'm making, the Aftermath. Okay, this is just gonna be a live show for the Giants games, a live show a day after. It has to be a day after. That's what the Aftermath is a day after. So we have time to calm our emotions down and talk logically about these games that happen, win or lose, because we don't want to, get our heads filled up with, oh my God, we're going to the Super Bowl, and we don't want to get our heads filled up with number one pick talk. Okay, so that's why I'm doing it the day after any of the Giants games. So this will be a call-in show every week, guys, so be prepared for that. Thank you guys for joining in. I'm going to go watch Eli call a football game. I'm very excited. And thank you guys so much for joining. Hit that like button on the way out, and I'll see you guys next time.